I'm hoping that this story will change the way you think about the use of rooftops when it comes to gardens. You see, this is an incredible story. My journey started back in 2018 when I started building what's going to be an urban farm on top of the Pan Pacific Hotel in Perth. Unfortunately, COVID came along and threw a spanner in the works, but not here in Singapore. You see, the Park Royal Collection in Marina Bay was well ahead of the game. They've created an urban farm that's supplying fresh produce, herbs, veggies and fruit into the restaurant, which is right next door. This is a great way to do a few things. Adding a rooftop garden reduces energy consumption by moderating rooftop temperatures. In a climate like Singapore's, with lots of rain during the wet season, it's also allowed stormwater rain to be used to water the gardens. The hotel's food waste is also being converted at the same time and turned into a compost being used on the farm. And best of all, the produce with low to no food miles was arriving in the restaurants as fresh as it gets. What's truly remarkable about this story is this was an existing building. And back in 2020, it underwent a massive renovation. What they did was create this wonderful, sustainable green environment that's just transformed the whole experience for everybody who's in it. The produce is superb. Things like guava, starfruit, eggplants, papayas, not to mention the many herbs and edible flowers. Now, most of Singapore's food is actually imported, and a lot of it by air freight. And when you consider that and the produce that's being produced here, every kilo of produce here is about 4 to 6 kilos less of carbon emissions compared to that that's brought in, particularly by air. There's something else happening when sustainable practices sit at the forefront of your thinking. You start finding more ways to reduce your carbon footprint. And through clever planning of crops, the hotel has reduced its food waste by 12% at its stunning restaurant, Peppermint. It makes sense when you think about it. The chefs are buying large stocks of produce and hoping to use it, causing lots of waste as produce declines in quality. They are picking only what they want when they want it from this garden, leaving the rest to continue to grow.
This garden here will supply 20% of the fresh produce, of the vegetables, the fruits, to this all-day dining restaurant at Peppermint. But for the herbs and garnishes, it's almost 95%. The bar, the mixology will come in the evening to collect the herbs and the garnishes that they need. When you buy the vegetable from the mall, it's after they harvest from the farm to the mall and to your table, it's almost around maybe 24 hours later. For here, the most is 3 hours. You harvest in the morning, we serve for lunch. We harvest in the afternoon, we will serve for dinner. So a big thing that the world's becoming aware of is food waste. You'd be reducing your food waste significantly as well. Yes, of course. What we do here is we will work with the farmers on our menu for every 6 months. After that, they will start to plant and then grow the vegetable that we need for our promotion or our daily use.
Imagine if all the buildings in the world were converted to food factories like this. Now, this is a really special project. You've got to remember, it's a renovation. This is an old building converted into a green, sustainable building, producing fresh produce that's going straight into the kitchen there. Now, this is what I would call Park Royal Collection Marina Bay's, well, real leadership, I suppose, in converting things to be so much more sustainable and environmentally friendly. It's classical Singaporean innovation at its best.